The cramps had started during dinner, sharp and sudden like lightning through my abdomen. I'd gripped the edge of the table, my fork clattering against the plate as I tried to breathe through it. "Careful with the china," Mom said without looking up. "That's the good set." I was 12 weeks pregnant. Had just told them last week. Mom's response had been to ask if I was keeping it, and when I said yes, she'd sighed like I'd announced I was dropping out of college instead of growing life inside me. The second wave of pain brought wetness. Blood. I could feel it soaking through my jeans. "I need help," I gasped, standing unsteadily. "Something's wrong with the baby." That's when I saw the dining room fully. The candles, the good plates, the wine Dad only brought out for special occasions. And Ashley, my younger sister, dressed in her best outfit, nervously adjusting her hair. "Not now, Diana," Mom hissed. "Ashley's boyfriend is coming. This is important." "I'm bleeding." "Then go to the bathroom." She stood, blocking my path to the hallway. "Quietly. Kevin will be here any minute." Kevin. The investment banker Ashley had been dating for 2 months. The one Mom called marriage material, and our ticket to the country club. Another cramp doubled me over. More blood. I could feel it running down my legs now. "Mom, please. I think I'm losing the baby." She looked at me then, really looked at me. At the blood beginning to show through my light-colored jeans. At my face, twisted in pain. And I watched her make a calculation in real time. Her daughter's miscarriage versus impressing Ashley's rich boyfriend. The boyfriend won. "Blood stains are hard to clean," she said, gripping my shoulders and steering me toward the back door. "Go outside. Use the garden hose if you need to. We'll deal with this after Kevin leaves." "Outside." I couldn't process what she was saying. "Mom, I need a hospital. You need to stop being dramatic." She opened the back door, the November air hitting like a slap. "Women have been having miscarriages forever. You don't need an audience." Dad appeared with a blue tarp, the one from the garage he used for oil changes. "Here," he said, not meeting my eyes. "Your sister's boyfriend is visiting. Don't make a scene." They pushed me out. Actually pushed me onto the back patio and locked the door. I stood there, shaking, blood pooling in my shoes, watching through the window as they returned to the dining room. Mom smoothed the tablecloth. Dad poured wine. Ashley checked her reflection in the china cabinet. The doorbell rang, and they all smiled. Perfect family. Perfect home. Perfect except for the daughter bleeding out on the patio. Another contraction hit, this one bringing a gush of blood and tissue. My baby. My wanted, already loved baby, leaving my body while I stood on cold concrete like a dog that had soiled the carpet. I crawled to my car. Every movement was agony, but staying meant bleeding to death for the sake of Ashley's dinner date. The tarp dragged behind me, a cruel reminder of how much I mattered compared to their image. Somehow I got the door open. Somehow I got inside. Blood everywhere, seats, steering wheel, my hands as I fumbled for my phone. I didn't call 911. I called Rachel, my best friend since high school, the one who'd held my hand when I took the pregnancy test. "Hey, Mama. How's the—" "I'm miscarrying in my car. My parents locked me outside." "Please." "Where are you?" "My parents' driveway. They made me go outside because Ashley's boyfriend." A sob cut off my words. "I'm coming. Right now." Calling 911 on the other phone. "Don't move." But I did move. I turned on my phone's video camera, propping it on the dashboard. Evidence. Record everything. Because even through the pain and blood and grief, I knew no one would believe this without proof. The video caught it all. Me sobbing and bleeding. The locked house, every window glowing with warm light. The shadows of my family and Kevin, laughing over dinner. The blood. So much blood. Rachel arrived before the ambulance, screeching into the driveway and running to my car. "Oh my God, Diana. Oh my God." "They locked me out," I kept saying. Said blood stains are hard to clean. The ambulance came next, paramedics professional and horrified in equal measure. As they loaded me onto a gurney, the front door finally opened. Mom stepped out, perfect hostess smile plastered on. "What's all this fuss?" she asked, like she hadn't thrown me out 90 minutes ago. "Ma'am, your daughter is having a severe miscarriage," the paramedic said. "She's lost a dangerous amount of blood." "Outside." Mom's voice pitched higher. "Why was she outside?" I found my voice. "Because you locked me out. Because Ashley's boyfriend was more important than my baby." Kevin appeared behind Mom, looking confused. Ashley beside him, her face white. Dad hovering in the doorway. "You locked her out?" Kevin asked slowly. During a medical emergency? It wasn't, she's being dramatic. I have video, I said clearly, holding up my phone. Everything. The silence that followed was beautiful. At the hospital, Dr. Santos confirmed what I already knew. Complete miscarriage. Significant blood loss. Risk of infection from delayed treatment. You should have come immediately, she said gently. These things can be dangerous. I tried. My parents made me go outside. Said I'd stain their carpets. She went very still. They what? I showed her the video. Watched her face cycle through disbelief, anger, and finally professional fury. This is medical neglect. Endangerment. I'm mandating a social services consultation. I'm 23, I said. Not a minor. Doesn't matter. This needs documentation. While she arranged things, I made my own arrangements. Posted the video to Facebook with a simple caption. This is how my parents treated my miscarriage. Blood stains are harder to clean than carpet. Tag. Share. Send. My phone exploded within minutes. But I had more calls to make. First, to the family group chat that included extended relatives. Lost the baby tonight. Parents locked me outside during the miscarriage because Ashley's boyfriend was visiting. Video attached. Second, to Mom's church friends, the ones she'd been bragging to about becoming a grandmother. Update on the pregnancy. Miscarried on my parents' patio after they locked me out. They gave me a tarp for the blood. Third, to Dad's business partners, CC'd on his company email. Unable to attend the holiday party. Recovering from miscarriage complications after being forced to bleed outside during a family dinner. Then I turned off my phone and let it burn. Rachel stayed with me all night. Held my hand through the DNC procedure. Brought me water and tissues and never once said everything would be okay, because she knew it wouldn't. They locked you out, she kept saying. Like an animal. Worse, I corrected. People take bleeding animals to the vet. The nurse who discharged me pulled me aside. I saw the video. My sister went through something similar. Not as extreme, but family treating miscarriage like an inconvenience. You're brave for sharing it. Brave. I didn't feel brave. I felt empty. Hollow where my baby had been. Broken where my family should have been. Rachel drove me to her apartment, not asking if I wanted to go home because she knew the answer. I slept for 14 hours, waking only when the physical pain demanded attention. When I finally turned my phone back on, I had 347 missed calls, 542 text messages, 1,263 Facebook notifications. The video had gone viral. Woman forced outside during miscarriage was trending. My parents' house was recognizable. Their faces, briefly caught in the window, clear enough. Mom's first voicemail. Take it down immediately. You're destroying our reputation. Dad's, this is between family. Delete everything or you're not welcome back. Ashley's. Kevin broke up with me because of your stunt. Are you happy now? But between their vitriol were other messages. Women sharing their own stories of miscarriages minimized, dismissed, hidden. Of families who treated pregnancy loss like an inconvenience rather than a tragedy. A reporter called. Then another. Then 20 more. I gave one interview to a health magazine doing a piece on miscarriage stigma. Showed them the video. The hospital records documenting blood loss and delayed treatment. The text messages from my mother after, asking why I had to be so theatrical about a natural process. Natural, I told the reporter. Like dying is natural. Doesn't mean you leave someone to do it on the patio. The story exploded. My parents' business tanked. Who wants to hire contractors who lock their bleeding daughter outside? Mom was asked to step down from 3 charity boards. Dad's golf club membership was quietly revoked. Ashley couldn't get a date once men Googled her family. They tried to sue me for defamation. Their lawyer dropped them when he saw the video. They tried to claim mental illness. The hospital records showed only one thing wrong with me. Blood loss from being forced to miscarry outdoors. They tried family mediation. I didn't show. 6 months later, I held a small memorial for the baby I lost. Not at a church or cemetery, but in Rachel's backyard, surrounded by people who understood that grief doesn't check convenience calendars. I planted a rosebush. Something that would grow and bloom and live, unlike my child. Unlike my relationship with my family. Mom sent a card. Ready to move past this? I sent back a photo of the bloodstained tarp Dad had given me, still in evidence storage. No other message needed. They taught me that night that bloodstains are hard to clean. They were right. The stains on my car seats eventually came out. The stains on their reputation never did. And the stain on my heart, the place where parents' love should have been, that's permanent. A miscarriage of more than just pregnancy. A miscarriage of family, trust, and the belief that blood relatives would choose your blood over their comfort. Kevin, for what it's worth, sent flowers to the hospital with a note. I'm sorry for your loss and their cruelty. He saw one dinner's worth of my family and ran. I saw 23 years and finally learned to do the same. The difference? He got to walk away clean. I had to crawl away bloody. But I still got away. And that's what matters. That and the truth. Blood does stain. Just not the things they thought it would.